Hello. Okay, you're seeing something, right? Finally.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, extremely sorry, children. Who is that chatting at this point of time? Okay, thank you. Right, this is also a very, very important section which actually takes the toll of any student of IELTS. Okay, but there's a difference here for the students who go for both the general as well as academic. So the whole section is for 60 minutes. Okay, and you have two tasks that we'll go inside and we'll look into. We have two tasks. If it is a general module, you have the first task for 20 minutes and second task for 40 minutes. Similarly, the time duration for general module is also 20 minutes for task 1. Task means the work that you have to do. And the second one is for 40 minutes, right? Now, before we go in deeper into going of, what is there in each and every task. Now let us know what is tested. When you write an essay, you have to write the essay using a pen or a pencil, but I highly recommend you to go with a pencil. Because if any mistake, spelling mistake occurs, a grammar mistake occurs when you are checking the essay after you have written, in order to erase and write, you need to write with a pencil. So those who are seriously preparing for IELTS, in your childhood only you used to write with pencil, now you're writing with pen. Okay, the speed of the pen is more compared to a pencil. So make your pace more faster and practice writing a good handwriting with your pencil. Okay, now these are the points. Okay. These are the points these are the aspects which are tested when you are there in this IELTS writing task. The first thing which the examiner will check is task achievement. What do you mean by task achievement? See, for example, in task 1, they give you two figures or one. You have to analyze, compare, contrast, and you have to give your own analysis on that and conclusion on that. So, whether you have touched all the points in the diagrams or not will be tested in number 1. Number 2, either they'll ask you to give for or against the statement. See, for example, we discussed in our introduction, science is a boon or a bane. So in that concept, science is a boon or a bane, you will be discussing either you have to discuss mostly about science is a boon or science is a bane. Okay. Where you have to keep into consideration. And if it is a lengthy statement given, I'll show you the type of questions also. If it is a lengthy statement given, you have to see that each and every aspect of the statement or the question is fulfilled when you write the whole essay. Okay, so task achievement is very important. Somebody has put the microphone on. Mr. Sai Kumar, please put off your microphone. Okay, so task achievement is fully satisfies all the parts of the task. So you should be in a position to satisfy everything, right on everything. Presents a fully developed position in the answer. What is the intention of the examiner, which he wanted from you should be definitely present in your essay. If it is half or half correct and half wrong, it is of no use. You might be writing 250 words, it is of no use. Okay, and it should be fully extended with and well supported ideas. So not that you randomly write the points and go away like 1 2 3 4 5 points. Every point should be linked up with the next and next and next, so that the logical sequence goes on. So that is task achievement. For that, the marks will be given. How many marks will be given? Number will not be counted, but 25% of the whole score will be given for task achievement. Please put off your microphone. Somebody. Achyut, the new student, I guess. Put off your microphone. Mr. Krishna, put off your microphone. Okay. Now, coherence and cohesion. Okay. See, coherence or cohesion both are related. Coherence is something which draws your attention towards whether you are deviating from the topic or whether you are writing towards the aspect of the topic. Somebody will start from A and go to Z, but in middle there are so many alphabets which are to be written. Okay, which means some points are to be related logically. Logical sequence is something which is very important. And when you are relating the concept to the given question in writing, it should also be logically related, and that is nothing but cohesion. Okay, use this cohesion in such a way that attracts no attention, skillfully manages paragraphing. So it should not be any repetition. Repetition of too many words should not be there. Common words like one or two words are okay, but repetition is not accepted here. And at the same time, flow of thought should go continuously in the flow of logic. Okay? And then the lexical resource. Lexical resource is your vocabulary and grammar. Okay? How much of variety you put into your essay in the form of the grammar, sentences, words, linkers, as well as the good vocabulary which is related to that particular arena. Okay, if it is related to advertisement, the vocabulary related to advertisement. If it is for education, related to education. Okay, if it is something like a pie chart, you have to write the vocabulary related to pie chart. So all these will be handed over to you. Don't worry, okay? So lexical resource, your grammar should be perfect, and not only general sentences in present tense, past tense, future tense. You should be writing it in a variety. Okay, so you have as soon as, no sooner, hardly, scarcely sentences. If conditionals, you have degrees of comparison. You have simple, compound, complex sentences. All the variety should be present. Only then he will understand. Yes, you are a good skillful writer of English, right? So uses a wide range of vocabulary with new, natural and sophisticated control of lexical features. Rare minor errors occurs only as slips. Okay, it's very rarely you should be in a position. See, when you're using high frequency words, sometimes we make a mistake. We tend to do a mistake. How we tend to do a mistake is we may use the word in a wrong place. One or two spaces are okay, but if it is really unnecessary to use a word at that particular context, it might be taken negative, or else vocabulary will not be taken too much of consideration. But at the same time, if you write the vocabulary to a high frequency, what happens is you may see your band score set above 7. If you want to do so, please go for reading proper vocabulary and grammatical range and accuracy. So yeah, along with the vocabulary, you have to go for the grammar and range. Okay, grammar range, I said no. All subject verb agreement, sequence of tenses, then voice, speech, if conditionals, simple compound sentences, transformation of sentences, all those. Nearly some 10 chapters are there where you have to cover on basics and you have to present them. Okay. Nevertheless, nonetheless, however, hardly when, scarcely when, no sooner than, all these structures should be presented properly. Okay. And rare errors are okay, but too much of errors are not accepted. So all these four aspects are given 25% of each weightage. Okay, so equal weightage is given to everything. Task achievement, whether it is going in a flow or not, which is called as coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accuracy. Now, let me show you. Yeah, friends, this is the answer sheet for writing task. See here, candidate name, candidate number, center number. Hope you are able to see. Friends, you are able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Test module, academic or general, test date, you have to give. See, this filling of information form is very different from that of reading and listening. Okay. Now, this is of two sheets, only two sheets. See here, only two sheets are given to you. If you want additional sheets, they won't give you. Okay, only two sheets will be given. Now, see here at the bottom, So you see, they have given you these sheets in such a way that you will finish this for, see, this is for only one essay. For next essay, they'll give you one more sheet. Okay. So don't worry that it is only given for this or that. Now at the end, see here, examiner 1 and examiner 2. Two examiners will validate your paper, no, evaluate your paper, no. Look here. Right now we discuss one point. Okay. So this one, task, then cohesion, then lexical resource, then grammatical accuracy. So all the four are given importance here and they give the mark for that. Now see here, under length. If it is under length, if it is not 150 words and you have written 140 or 135, they may not give you. Number of words they'll note down. Penalty they will write here. Off topic they will mention. If it is really memorized, many of you will memorize some sentences and go and sit for the exam. If it is memorized also, they'll put a tick mark there. Illegible, if the handwriting is not proper. Illegible, if the handwriting is not proper, they'll give you the marks over here. So here they give you the percentage. Suppose for task, okay, completion, you have only what is that we yeah, so it is given some 20 percentage or 25, you have written very well, but there is and also this cohesion present over there for 25%, for example. And lexical resource, you were not in a position to use very good words, maybe for that you were given 15%. And grammar also you were given some 20%, so in total 80%. So for 80% means you may get some 6.5 or 7 band score. So that is how they give you the score. And even the examiner too will also evaluate, and based on the average of both the examiners, your essay will also be, both the essays will be validated. So this is how your answer sheets would be. This is first thing which everyone has to look into.
Ma'am,
Amma,
what if I write 148 words and then
they
leave? Is
won't.
it counted or penalty is given
Yeah,
in the
penalty
mark?
is given. One word less also penalty is given.
Penalty as in they cut the marks,
Ah,
but
they cut the score.
okay, but they do assess the essay, right?
Ah, they do assess the essay.
They
If you
consider
have
it.
to, if you have to get 6, you may get 5. If you have to
Acha.
get 7, you will get 6.5. Likewise.
Okay, okay,
Unnecessarily, see, they will not stop you if you write 25 to 30 or 50 extra words also.
okay,
Okay. But they will not assess, they will not validate your, they will correct and they'll give you your marks. But if they are less, for that, marks will be deducted.
okay, okay.
Okay, I will come to those points. So we only checked about the first point. Now let us go for the various tips of writing. Okay, see, first thing, as I said, this regarding thesis statement, how to write paragraph, how to write essay and all, we'll go with a very technical class tomorrow. Okay, but let us
Ma'am,
understand. Amma,
how do they know the essay is memorized or not?
yeah, obviously, many books will publicize some statements which are actually very famous. And if you, and these are all experienced, evaluators who always check. See, it is very easy to check whether you're copying from somebody or not.
I mean, there are some fixed lines from him, something like once upon a time or nowadays.
Those are okay. Those are
Oh,
okay. Statements together, if you just take them and cut, copy, paste here, it is of no use. You
oh,
know, the way that people, some students will write number of pages to just fill in the things.
All the
Okay.
engineering students.
yeah,
Yeah, I fill in the pages. Then what happened? The quality of the essay should be there. Your originality should be there in your essay. It will be
oh,
easily assessed by the examiner, ma. Okay?
okay, okay.
Because see, you might have started your essay with a wonderful beginning. In the middle, you somewhere you should write your own language, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe at that point of time a tense will go wrong. Maybe at that point of time an adjective will go wrong. Obviously, they can find out what is your original thing and what is your duplicate thing.
Ma'am,
Understand?
can
Okay,
we quote
okay,
somebody?
Yes, yes, of course.
But we'll have to mention that clearly.
Of course. You have to. Okay. Not like purely a thesis kind of thing. Don't mention like like as if you do your dissertations, projects, and all there, footnotes, everything you write. No, no need. Just mention the name of the person quoted by, because the time and space will not be sufficient to you if you write too much. Okay, so first thing which you have to write is the detailed thesis statement. Thesis statement means a topic statement on which you are writing the essay. Okay, so first very wise thing or a clever thing to mention in the beginning of your essay is to paraphrase the question as it is. Okay, what do you mean by paraphrasing? You read the question, you understand for your own, you own it. Okay, as if we have paraphrased the matchings yesterday, sorry, matching of the headings yesterday. You write the question in your own language and make it more pompous, make it more jeweled, and present it in the form of an introduction. Then the person will understand, yes, the writer has taken the main essence of the passage. Okay, see here. Here is some background information about the topic. Here is a paraphrase of the question. In this essay, I will examine both sides of the issue in detail before stating why I believe this is a negative development. So this is nothing but you're expressing what is that you're going to do only according to the question. If you generally start as if you write a normal essay which is not related, when you are asked to write a story about urbanization or globalization, you start with some history, you start with some jokes, you start with something which may not be taken into consideration here. They may think that you might not be in the present, you might be there somewhere else in imagination. So always relate everything to the question, which is nothing but the cohesion and coherence. Okay, so how to develop a thesis statement, how to write a full paragraph, how to write an essay, tomorrow I will be explaining. Actually board should be there to explain. I'll try my level best tomorrow. Okay, next. What happened to my computer today? I don't understand. Something happened. For writing tasks, there should be a board, friends. Right. And then for every paragraph, say repeat the question topic in each and every new paragraph in the sense, this is the topic and again here it is again in conclusion, you have to mention. But I would rather explain you in a different way. When you are also writing the passage, this is related to the first one. And for the second one, how should you do? You have to be every time, remember, when you are constructing an essay, every paragraph is to be 100% linked to the next and next to the next and next to the next. So always your last line of before paragraph should be a beginning, a sign of beginning for the next paragraph. If this is different and this is different, it is of no use, and there itself the marks will be lost. So the linkage should go on. That's why in order to get out of that mess, they give you an easy tip here. So in anyhow in the first paragraph you have address about the question, even in the second paragraph also one line mention about the question, third mention about the question, fourth also, in conclusion mention about the question in your own words. But when you write every time in your own words, try to change the expression but not the meaning. Okay, that's the reason why you have to learn rewrite the sentences. Rewrite the sentences means you have to write the sentence without in a different form without changing the meaning. For example, I'll tell you. As soon as I come to the class, as soon as I come to the class, as soon as I came to the class, my children greeted me. Is one sentence, normal sentence. Now, first paragraph, you wrote that. Again, second paragraph, the same concept should be repeated. Why? If you write like that, what is of use? No, you should not write like that. No sooner did I come to the class than my children greeted me. Different expression, but meaning is the same. Third paragraph, if you want to express the same. Hardly had I come into the class when my children greeted me. Okay, next paragraph, if you want to write. Only when I came to the class, only after I come to the class, my children greeted me. So, this is how you have to go with the different sorts of expression and paraphrasing. That's the reason why you have to learn rewrite the sentences. Okay, next. Tip 3. And you have to write the transition sentences. I told you, no? So the before line of the first paragraph should be the beginning line of the next paragraph. See here, therefore, X. Therefore, there is a conclusion. And next part of the essay will address the question of why. So therefore, this is the result. And I assume that Mr. X will, Mr. X will present this you will mention about those points in the next when we come across the topic. So remember, the third point is whenever you are writing the last sentence of one paragraph, it should be a relation to the first sentence of the next paragraph. That is called as logical sequencing. Next one, summarize your main points. Okay, so in conclusion, I have described in this essay how X is true, so and so, so and so. See, you have to summarize very important points which you have in the conclusion paragraph. What is the topic statement of first paragraph, next paragraph, last paragraph? 4 sentences or 3 sentences will be there as topic statements, important statements. Collect them and also mention your conclusion in the last paragraph. That's how full completeness will be given, wholesomeness will be given to your passage. Okay. So when you write your conclusion, it is very important that again you carry forward the question, then you add the main concept of the first paragraph in one sentence, next main concept of the second paragraph in next sentence, and next main paragraph, and in the conclusion add your own one sentence of conclusion to that. That completes the whole essay. Okay, next. And so this is a conclusion. The conclusion is what I already told you right now. Okay, now let us come back. See, that is all technically told by IELTS board. But I will make it very easy in tomorrow's class how you have to, in a sequence, in a flow, how you have to present your essay. Maybe if it is not possible on the board, I will make some scanned copies and I will be presenting it to you in handwriting. Okay, right. Now look at the scores. Band 9 is a very impossible task, especially to, Asia, people belonging to Asia and all. Okay, so band 9 will be very least discussed. So I have given you till band 8. But if you're really, to err is human, so errors will fall when you're writing, and definitely band 9 essays are also there, which I will really show you. Now let us don't look at band 5, look at band 6. When you have got band 6, it speaks like this. It addresses all parts of the task, although some parts may be more fully covered than others. Okay, so you did not, a person who doesn't equalize the concept when writing, he gets band score 6, it seems. Presents a relevant position, although the conclusion may become unclear or repetitive. What happens is he gives the proper information, but too much of repetition and unclear conclusion, if it is there, again it will give you band score 6. He may think I wrote a good essay, but these are the problems. Presents relevant main ideas, but some may be inadequately developed or unclear. So some ideas which are there in every paragraph, the main topic sentence, which are not adequate, are not sufficient to the main question which is being given. So even though a person writes the essay and feels that I have written a good essay, these might be the drawbacks. Okay, and only then he will be falling at 6. Now, band 7 addresses all the parts of the task and gives equal preference. Here in band 6, addresses all parts of the task. Few he gives equal preference, some he doesn't even touch properly. Next, presents a clear position throughout the response. So very clarity of information is given. Presents, accents and supports main ideas. So he gives every example, every explanation, and supports the main ideas. But there may be a tendency to overgeneralize, or supporting ideas may lack focus. So, for example, some points which are discussed by him may not be 100% relevant. They might be relevant very indirectly, but not 100% relevant. Then the score may end at band 7. See, there is a very slight difference between 6 and 7. In 6 also everything is written, but imbalance, conclusion unclear, and topic sentences unclear. Band 7, everything very well, very well, very well, but the supporting statements taken might not support 100% to the main statement. That is a very slight difference. What about 8? Sufficiently addresses all parts of the task, presents and well developed. Okay, presents a well developed idea. Okay, actually there should be a comma here, and responds to the question with relevant, extended and supported ideas. So there is no overgeneralization, or there might not be lack of focus. Perfect. Perfect means don't look at the 250 they say, or 150 they say. Don't put a full stop at 250. Somewhere your word might not be counted by the examiner. At that point of time, you should be very, very careful. So you have to increase your number of words when you're writing. Okay. If you write less, if you end up by just exactly 150, you may definitely lose your mark, because some words might not be counted by the examiner. So you may fall on track. So always 40-50 words more, but time management is very, very important. Okay. Next. So that is about the score. Right? We have to know the basics of parts of an essay, which we will be discussing, and you have to study grammar, which we started, but now this week will be go on a full path. Vocabulary, and we are not going to go with that vocabulary, high frequency vocabulary, the vocabulary till we have learned yesterday, and those lists will be added to you. Maybe tomorrow I will be giving you all the reading vocabulary which is required, that was related to reading and listening. Now there is a special vocabulary for writing which I will be sharing with you, and you have to use them in that particular purpose. Only that arena, fashion, if something is given on fashion, that kind of vocabulary should be, incorporated in that essay. If it is coronavirus, about coronavirus, you have to mention many terms and terminology of health concern in coronavirus essay. So you have to go with the proper vocabulary which is really needed. Even those might be given to you as handouts. Okay. Be sure to answer what the task requires. As I said, don't beat near the bush. Don't, as if you know English, don't write lengthy essays. Be exact to the point. Every time when you have you're writing your essay, always look at the question and check whether you're covering each and every point, whether you are writing too much of information or whether you're writing exact information. Are you using a variety of grammar and proper vocabulary required for that part? All these to be taken into consideration. And very important point is the next one, friends, that is, don't use contractions in your writing. You should not use the word don't. You have to use the word do not. You should not use the word won't. You have to use the word will not. Okay, so contractions are not accepted in writing. Okay, so obviously when you have written your essay and you have mentioned contractions, those words will not be counted. So if you have ended up with 150 or 160 words over there, they may lessen you for 10 words or so. What happens? You may be with under word count, which always penalizes your marks. Marks will be given, but if you have to end up at 8 band score, you will get 7. If you have to get 7, you will be at 6 or 5.5. So be careful, don't write contractions. Okay, and always develop ideas by providing examples. How to do this? I will be giving you a technique of brainstorming. Tomorrow I will be teaching you brainstorming, how to do it. Various topics we'll take and we'll do brainstorming. And in the next session, we'll work on every vocabulary, some 10 to 15 sections are there in which normally IELTS essays will be given. So those 15 or 10 to 15, looking at the time limit which we have, we will be touching the vocabulary part of everything, which are not tough, but they have to be known and they have to be written. Okay, right. Now this is one thing. See, look at this. Common words can be reused. Less common words can be reused, but they should be reused in the form of synonyms. For example, there is a rise in the price of cotton in 1980s. Okay, so then in the next line, if you have to mention about the rise, there is an increase in the slant or whatever. Okay, so you have to go for synonyms instead of writing the exact words of repetition, right? And if there are phrases and unusual vocabulary, right? For example, there is a steep growth. Steep is something which is really unusual, bit unusual. So you should not continue using steep once again. If you have a word going, going is a common word. Going can be used twice or thrice or 4 times in the passage. Okay. So remember, common words can be repeated. Uncommon words should be rarely repeated. Special words or high frequency words or phrases which you have put over there should never be repeated. Okay. See, for example, now this is just an example. This gives you. See here, words you should not use more than once or twice in your IELTS essays are, on the other hand, it boils down, nevertheless, nonetheless, however, subsequently, consistently. These are all words, firstly, secondly, thirdly, instantaneously. These are all special vocabulary which have to be used only at particular points of time. Those kind of special words should not be repeated at all. Okay? Fine. Now look at the second paragraph. You could repeat the words like vocabulary and careful, but you could also find a synonym. For example, instead of careful, take care. This is a basic word. And to and use are simple words that can be used frequently. In, on, are. These are all the words which have to be used frequently, so you can use them. So remember this point very importantly. Okay? Huh. And very important thing which you have to look at this slide is you are given 2 tasks. Give utmost priority. To which task you will be giving utmost priority? 1 or 2? Hello.
Task 2, ma'am.
You have to give importance to task 2 because task 1, whatever which is there, you have to present it as it is and no need of writing even a conclusion for task 1. But task 2 is to be adopted by you, nurtured by you, and presented in an imaginative and a creative way such that you impress the reader, means the examiner. So task 2 is given higher preference when giving the marks also. Okay, see, look at the right hand side. Task 1 and 2 are weighted differently. Task 1 is worth about 35% of your mark and task 2 worth is about 65%. Okay, so you will get a better score when you have good mark in your task 2 rather than in task 1. Next. So it is very important to nail down or to give 100% of your effort to task, for which you have to be good with your transitional words, linkers, grammar, everything. Task 1, not a problem. Try to analyze and understand, but some technical jargon, means technical words are there for every kind of a diagram. Bar diagram, when, pie chart, flow, you have the curves. Okay, all those. Next. Look at this. So look at the use of paragraphs. See, normally that you all know this. For writing an essay, I need not tell this slide, but for writing the essay, what is very important is you have to construct the essay. Essay is not, paragraph is nothing but construction of sentences into one box or one set, right? And essay is nothing but construction of one ideology in number of paragraphs. So essay means it has to be written in paragraphs. Don't continuously write your lines and finish your essay. And generally, for task 1, you can complete it in 2 to 3 paragraphs because you are asked to write only 150 words. And task 2, generally you can write 4 to 5 paragraphs. I don't say you stop there itself. You can increase one more paragraph in task 1 if you want to have a score at 7 or 8. Even here in task 2 also mention it to be 6 paragraphs if you can write in that particular 40 minutes of time. So practice. As you do your reading regularly, alternate days you have to do one reading and like a tablet, like a medicine that you take. One reading and one writing. One reading, one writing. Listening 3 days per week if you do till, you are going with a serious approach of your test, it would be really helpful. Okay. Now let us enter into the writing part. So the timing for this, as I told you already, we discussed it is 60 minutes, right? And in that 60 minutes, you have to complete both. And task 2 contributes twice as much as task 1 to the writing score. So always, even it is a general module or else an academic module, always try to give importance to task 2. Practice more of task 2. Okay, right. And let us go jump into task 1. So task 1, today I'm talking about the academic module. In the next classes, maybe not tomorrow, day after tomorrow, I'll be talking about the general module task 1. That is the only difference. Task 2 is common for both, right? But easier topics will be given in general compared to academic, right? Now, whatever that you write, academic module, the students who write, even for general also, let it be academic or let it be general, don't be too informal. Don't be as if you write something as if you're writing to your friend. Especially academic students, everything will be given to you as if you are acceptable. You are a worthy candidature, acceptable to a university or not is tested. So always your style of writing should be formal. Even general writing students also don't be informal. While you're writing, be formal, because even you are not writing the IELTS test for the sake of your friend or to help your friend. You're writing to show your talent to the other country people. Okay, that I have the ability to mention my thought properly in the form of writing. So even general writing should also be in a formal style. Okay, and you have to write at least 150 words. And if you are aiming very high for 7 plus, 190 can be taken into consideration. 150 to 190 can be an ideal number of words if you're looking forward for, and that number of words if you write, but if they don't have the quality into it, proper grammar, proper vocabulary related to it, again it's waste. So first of all, check whether you can write 150 to 160 words or not. If you're thorough and your time management is fine, go for writing till 190 in that 20 minutes itself. Okay, next. The second one is your 40 minutes task. See, first task is called as a non-verbal task. It has a name called as non-verbal. Something which is not in the form of words. Okay, so you have to go with a non-verbal task, whereas this one is verbal because it is given in the form of words. Compare, contrast. We'll go and look at the questions, what kinds of things are there. And 250 words are mentioned. At least minimum limit should be 250 words. Now, will they count word by word? No, they will be counting the paragraphs, lines, line by line. And they have even you also. For example, you just go with each and every word. Ideal way of writing a paragraph is with 7 to 8 words per line. Okay. And ideal length of writing a paragraph in the lines is 7 to 8. 7 to 8 and 7 to 8. So 7 into 8 should be your ideal measurement when you write. So you can easily calculate, get the habit of writing. So when you go out, take a printout of the hand answer sheet for writing. If you're really serious about your writing and wanted to get 8 band score, it's not at all difficult provided you use the proper resources that you write. Okay, so 250 to 290, I would not suggest you to go for 290 to 75 at least. Wanted to go for beyond 7, 275 should be a word limit. Don't stop at 250 only. 275 should be a word limit. Please make a note. Okay. Now, when on the actual day, what is today, all the general things which you have to remember when you're writing the test and what are there are to be given. Okay, so in the actual test, you will be given the following instruction. This is very important to note, children. Okay, do not open this question paper until you're told to do so. They'll give you the set of papers before itself, but you should be opening this paper, any paper. Either if it is listening, after reading only you have to open. After that only you have to open the writing. So only when you're asked to open the writing question paper, only then you have to answer the writing question paper. Okay, then write your name and candidate number in the spaces on the top of this page. We will do that. Read the instructions for each task carefully. In IELTS, from the reading part, reading title, reading instructions are very important. So as it is, you read the full. Okay, and answer both the tasks. Next, this too, at least 150 words, at least 250 words, but please make that 150 as 190. If it is difficult for you, 175 at least, 275 at least. So you forget 150. 150 is standard number. You remember 175 and you remember 275. 290 maximum, don't go beyond that. 190 maximum, don't go beyond that. Because they may think you don't know how to write a brief expression also. Okay, and write the answers only on the answer booklet. Write clearly in pen or pencil. You may make alterations, but make sure your work is easy to read. Handwriting should be very legible. It should be very clear. At the end of the test, hand in both the question paper and your answer booklet to your teacher. Not the teacher, examiner, I'm sorry. The one invigilator, not the examiner also, he is the invigilator. Give it to the invigilator in the test center, both. So these are the general instructions before you write the test. Now, for example, let us look into the task 1. Just have a glance of the diagrams which are given there. These are the bar diagrams. I guess you know about them. And they will be used to do the comparisons. Look at the first one. Computer ownership from 2002 to 2010 is the first one given. Okay. And you know about x-axis and y-axis. All our engineering students better than me will know. Where is the x-axis? Horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal, ma'am.
Pakka. Okay, horizontal. What is mentioned on the x-axis in the first diagram?
Year,
Here.
And on y-axis?
percentage,
Yes, percentage. Okay. Next, look at the second one. Okay, it is just an advanced version of the first. Computer ownership by educational level. So level of education. See, for example, now in the second diagram, what is there on the x-axis?
Level of education.
Level of education. For example, no high school diploma, high school graduate, college, graduation, and post-graduation, bachelor's degree and post-graduation qualification. So, and also see, years are not mentioned here, but still we have to go and look at where the see. And another clue is given here. In the dark, you are given 2002, and in the light, you are given 2010. Right? First, you have to take 1 to 2 minutes time to understand about the diagram. So computer ownership is mentioned from 2000 to 2010, and here how it happened to be in various levels of education by the computer ownership. Right? Now see here, look at the question. The graphs give the information about the computer ownership as a percentage of population between 2002 to 2010. That is this first one. Okay, and by the level of education for years 2002 and 2010. Okay, so here level of education by, see here actually in the first diagram between 2002 to 2010. So 2002, 4, 6, 8 and 10. But whereas in the second diagram only 2002 and only 2010 are mentioned. So you have to be very careful in understanding everything. Okay. Now summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make relevant comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words in 20 minutes. I guess I have taken the answer for this. You have seen both the diagrams. We'll see whether this is the one or not. Yes. Look at the question again. What happened? Okay, look, you have seen the question. First one, years with the years, and second one with the educational level, and this is the answer given, right? Let us follow. The bar chart shows data about computer ownership with further classification by level of education from 2002 to 2010. Okay, first one. It is talking about the first diagram. A study, look at the word, a study but significant rise. Significant is also something very important, like very high rise. Can be seen in the percentage of population that owned computer over the period. Just over half the population owned computers in 2002, whereas by 2010, 3 out of 4 people had a home computer. Okay. I have to show you the question. Yeah, what happened? Okay, fine. Look at. First, we'll read and then go to the question because it's not accepting like that. Right. An analysis of the data by level of education. First paragraph explained about, once again we'll read. A study but significant rise can be seen in the percentage of population that owned the computer over the period. Just over half the population owned computer in 2002, very less percentage used. Whereas by 2010, 3 out of 4 people had a home computer. See, percentage wise, year wise, they didn't mention here. Generalization is mentioned. Okay. Now, an analysis of data by level of education. This is about the second one, right? So shows that the higher levels of education correspond to higher levels of computer ownership. That means the people who increase their age and go for higher levels of education, they have more computers with them rather than the students of the school. In 2002, only around 15% of those who did not finish high school had a computer, but this figure has trebled by 2010. So it has increased, okay, 3 times. And there was also considerable increase. Actually, grammar mistakes are mentioned here. Considerable increase of approximately 30 percentage points for those with high school diploma or an unfinished college education, reaching 65 and 85% respectively in 2010. Just what is written with nice English they have mentioned. However, graduates and postgraduates proved to have the greatest level of ownership in 2010 at 90% and 95% respectively. 25% points higher than 2002. Every point is mentioned. Okay. The last decade has seen a substantial growth in computer ownership in general and across all the educational levels. Normally, this is one line of conclusion written, but in task 1, conclusion is not mandatory. If you want to be on a safer zone and you want to have a satisfaction that I ended my passage with a conclusion, you can write 1 line or 2 lines, not more than that. Conclusion paragraph is not needed here. 1 liner is sufficient. Okay, so
Ma'am, move the cursor and again you can try, ma'am.
what should I do now? Move the cursor.
In PPT, ma'am. You can click this place only, ma'am. Main PPT you have to click and again you have to click, ma'am.
Okay. No, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, close the Zoom app. You can try, ma'am.
Thank you. See how engineers are helping us. Where is Indumati? Is only seen here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Got it. Thanks.
I'm not visible, ma'am.
At least.
Okay.
Zoom meeting, share screen. Oh, I understood what is the problem. What happened? Friends, what happened? Now? Isabel?
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. Okay. Now look at the combinations of the questions which will be asked in this task 1. Okay. You have the column charts. Again, this is also stacked column chart. It will also be given like this in a form of column. Sorry, you have, this is the column chart behind her and stacked column chart like this. All the 3 colors, 4 colors are mentioned. So one component to the other will be mentioned in the same bar only. So you have to be really very vigilant when you're looking forward. And stacked bar chart. Bar chart is given in the form of a stack, one after the one after the one. All the comparisons in one. Bullet bar chart. So you will also have a bullet bar chart, normal bar chart. You have a pie chart with highlight. Okay. So all these things will be there, and not only that, some processes will also be given, and one map will be given, or else some historical reference can be given. Anything. They may give you anything, but you have to write a meaningful essay with proper comparisons, analysis, and contrast according to the question. Okay. So this is about the first one. Now, task 1 structure. I need not tell you because we already read the question, read the answer. So first you have to begin with the introduction. What is introduction should always be the paraphrasing. So overview of the task, describe in general trends. Mention what is the whole general analysis. First diagram mentioned about 2002 to 2010. Second diagram mentioned about the level of education and all should be generalized. Next in paragraph 2, compare the data about first diagram given. Mostly 2 will be given. If it is not given, in the same diagram, if 5 aspects are given, you have to mention all the 5 aspects in 2-3 different paragraphs. So describe or compare data starting with most important parts. So what is the actual thing which is discussed and given the key role in the diagram should be mentioned. Paragraph 3, describe the remaining data, which is, if it is second diagram, you mention about the second diagram, but not everything. See, normally many students will do on x-axis this is discussed, on y-axis this is discussed. Likewise, they write, which is not actually accepted. If you may get the marks, but it will be giving you maximum at 6. So they did not mention what is discussed on x-axis and y-axis. They did not mention the words x-axis, y-axis. They only gave an explanation that there is a comparison between the ownership of computers to the levels of education. They did not mention the words of x-axis, y-axis. So too much detailing is not needed. Mention only the needed things. Okay. So this is about write the overview, paraphrase the question and the first line or second line, then the overview, then body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. Okay. So no conclusion is needed. If you want to satisfy yourself for conclusion, you can mention your conclusion. And normally these are the mistakes that you guys will do when you go for writing task 1. So incorrect analysis, right? So the mistake is the blue line fluctuated. See here, there is a blue line, right? Fluctuated. Fluctuated means actually it has went in a wrong way from 2000 to 2005. It's an incorrect analysis. You have to use a proper word. The blue line grew from 2000 to 2005. Okay, or has a steep raise from so and so. Next, Reporting every detail is a mistake. I told you, no, too much of information with the numbers, axes, everything should not be done. For example, if you write like this, it is a mistake. The number of widgets grew from 0 to 2000 to 10 in 2001. Every point is mentioned. Then it increased to 20 in 2002. After that, it fell to 15 in 2003. What is this nonsense? Everything is mentioned. It will give confusion rather than giving clarity. Okay. Now, if you have to mention properly, you have to mention like this. The number peaked in 2002 at 20 and then fell to 15 in 2003. How nice and polished it is when you're writing. Okay, next. Not enough comparison. Sometimes proper comparisons will also not be given. See here, mistake. I will also show you the errors according to the passages written, not the passages, essays. Now, 100,000 men went to university in 2002. 200,000 women went to the university in 2002. So a total of 200,000 women went to university in 2002, surpassing, what do you mean by surpassing? Increased in quantity when compared to, that is the meaning. Surpassing the number of men attending the same year to the college and so on and so. See, instead of writing both the sentences in isolation, if you just combine them and write a compound sentence or a complex sentence, that would be rather better. Okay, now look at task 2. Now look at the question, which is the statement and the question will be given. The statement, both, in order to show you the difference, I have mentioned two different variety of handwriting here. A person's worth nowadays, I'm reading the question. A person's worth nowadays seems to be judged according to social status and material positions. What do you understand by this? We will come. Old-fashioned values such as honor, kindness, and trust no longer seem important. Okay? I repeat the question. Even this is how you have to. A person's worth nowadays seem to be judged according to social status and material positions. So only when you are an MLA or MP or a business tycoon or an entrepreneur, okay, or a social media person, social means not social media person, a famous celebrity, or you're rich, you are given importance nowadays. But in good olden days, even though you don't have money with you, in your great grandfather, he was living a normal life. But if he is having a good moral, sensible, ethical sense with him, he is given the utmost value when compared to the richest person in the society at that time. So this is what is actually mentioned. Old-fashioned values such as honor, kindness, and trust no longer seem important. So they are not given values at this point of time, only materials, possessions, and social status. Now look at the question. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this opinion? This is an argumentative essay. Okay. Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples your own knowledge from your own knowledge and experience. Write at least 250 words in 40 minutes. I did not get an answer for this. I didn't find time. Okay, these are from the official website only. Right. So when you're asked to write an agreement or disagreement essay, remember that you're writing an argumentative essay. Okay. Now you might have a doubt. Ma'am, can I mention about both? Can I discuss equally about both? I would rather say just generalize about both and give importance to the point where you want to give more weightage. Okay? Do you agree or disagree? If you agree, only mention mostly 90% of your passage should be talking about the agreement, means you accept to the statement which is being given. If you agree to 50% of the passage and also disagree to 50% of the passage, you know what happens is you will be treated to be a confused person and they will come to a conclusion that you cannot do a proper decision making and it may cut down your marks. So be very careful when you're writing argumentative essays. If you have taken a stand, means taken a decision, stick towards that. and develop 90% of essay towards your stand. In order to show that your stand here is not the stand which you stand. Okay, the stand is your decision. In order to show that your decision is strong, you have to go on the other side and you have to discuss for one paragraph or 2-3 lines. Then in the conclusion, again you talk about your stand. So it justifies that yes, I have done the exact, justification for whatever the decision I have taken, and that examiner will like it. Okay, so this is what. And now I told you, no, you will get the questions from this kind of, to get a good band score in essay writing section, it is important to develop vocabulary. I told you, no. So I will be supporting you on the vocabulary from mostly 100% out of this, but I will tell 80%. Okay, because my time should also be supporting you. But I promise you, if I can provide you more than 100%, I'll support. So I'll be giving you the vocabulary for all these, and you have to start doing them, and you have to write tests on these. Not for my sake. If I just give you papers and papers, you will not read. That's why the small assessment test for you. Okay, get ready for a test on Monday for the vocabulary which I'm going to give you this week. Okay, and what kind of questions? It can be about an opinion, it can be a discussion, opinion and discussion, or a situation. Whatever it is, there is only one way. Whatever the question is given, only one way to write your essay, which I will give you tomorrow. Okay. Now, how to answer the question? Give your opinion very strongly and clearly. Okay. You can show both the sides of the argument, but you must say which side you agree with and why. I told you, 90% on the point which you are talking, and proper reasons, proper examples, proper justification. And the opinion, when you have an opinion that you agree, please mention that agreement of that opinion in the first paragraph itself. After writing something else and else and else and else, in the end, if you mention your opinion, the reader may find it confusing. So, what is your opinion? Mention in the first paragraph, and accordingly, we read that in the slide. No, I agree that I will do this and that. So you have to mention to that, and answer the question with strong and relevant examples, proper facts. If you are thorough with the current affairs, if you are thorough with any factual information is nothing but a universal truth accepted by everyone. Okay, so strong and relevant examples to support your main points. Don't bluff. Okay, next. Show the other points of view, but argue clearly why you think the other point of view is wrong. I told you, very minimal you mention the other side. Okay, but when you mention that, you have to give strong reasons why the other side is not acceptable by you. Okay, and remember friends, for second question, there is no right answer or wrong answer. I may write an agreement in the form of an essay. You may write a disagreement in the form of an essay. When I write my agreement, I have to write it in such a way that after reading, the reader should feel that yes, she's 100% true, even though he disagrees to it. Even if he reads your essay after me, he should feel that yes, I disagree. That's how you have to make the reader get into the shoes of your mind. Okay, so that is very, very important. Show the other points of view, but argue clearly why you think the other point of view is wrong. Okay, read the question carefully and make sure you keep answering it throughout your essay. Okay, so whatever the key points which are mentioned, whatever the aspects which are mentioned in the question, every aspect should be should be covered in writing your essay. If it is not covered, that will not be given the value. Somewhere penalization of marks will be there. Okay, because they're experienced evaluators, they can scan like this and give the information. Read the question carefully and make sure you answer all parts of the question. We were discussing about that. It is very important you write 250 words minimum. I told you, no. Don't write only 250 words, friends. You people have scored 9, 8.5, 7 in listening. You have scored even 8.5, 8, 7.5, 7 in reading, roughly. with the exercises which we have done. And now in writing, if you just, because even though you wrote a better essay and you, because of the less words you have written and you lose the marks, how unworthy it is of about yourself. So practice. Time management is important. Handwriting is important. Grammar is important. Vocabulary is important. Construction of the whole idea is important. All those taking into consideration, 275 words minimum should be there in your paper. Never practice for 250 words. Okay? Take anything, any concept, start writing. Start writing, because we people have lost the handwriting practice as if we have got the mobile phones as well as the computers, laptops with us. Be careful. Handwriting is not a habit nowadays. So develop that again. Make sure that you leave full 40 minutes for the task 2 as it is worth more. So, you know, one weakness that all the students have is they start with task 1, obviously. Because task 1 is a figure and you can write, you need not waste your brain. Sorry, use your imagination because everything is there itself. You take your whole time, instead of 20 minutes, you take 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you write a better essay there. What about your 40 minutes essay? And we were told that 65% of weightage in the exam is given to second task. So total 40 minutes, if possible 45 minutes. Write that in 15 minutes itself. Task 1, because everything is on the paper. Cleverly, you use the proper words to write it. That's it. Okay. Now, task 2 should be written very carefully with proper imagination and your own idea. Don't lift up the sentences from other sources. Okay. And how should be the language? How my language should be? It has to be very formal. Don't use contractions. As I said, don't, isn't, won't. Always write 2 words. Do not, is not, will not. Okay. This is also very important. Nowadays we became very lazy. I'm gonna do that. I wanna do this. I wanna sing. I wanna jump. Don't. Please. You have to use proper written English. This is informal. This is friendly way of expression is informal, not used in official purposes. This exam itself is an official purpose to represent your idea of your brain. So just go with the proper writing words. Okay. Next. And slang words. Now I'm using children. Instead I say kids, it will be a slang word. Hi guys. Guys is a slang word. Students is okay, acceptable. Children, acceptable. Guys, in our present friendly relation, it is acceptable. Who is this Krishna? What happened to you? It is acceptable. But don't use slang language. Okay? Next. Avoid personal stories. So don't mention anything in personal. If you want to mention some important aspects of personal, make it generalized and mention. Okay. Nowadays, the usage of mobile phones has become maximum. Instead, me and my friend use the text each other and use the mobile phones too much. Is nonsense. Who wanted your personal thing? You have to generalize. Okay. Next. And see here, one of the major benefits of having a mobile phone is the ability to get a message to the recipient without having to disturb them with a phone call. Instead, if you write like this, me and my friend text each other all the time, so mobile phones are really useful. It's good. It is easily understandable, but it is a spoken language, which is not acceptable in official version. Okay? Next. This is what again we completed already. Normally in task 2, the questions will be from problem solution, advantages, disadvantages, agree, disagree. 90% of the questions will be agree, disagree only, friends. For or against also. Cause and effect. So we will be checking with all the models, all the diagrams, everything. And in deep we go with the grammar part also. So this is the last slide. You might have got a strong hold and understanding about the writing. This is very important, which you need to consider. The first one. Marks will be given for task assignment. Okay, TR is given. That's why I had a break over there. It's TA. Task achievement, coherence and cohesion, Lexical resource, grammar range and accuracy. You have to see whether you are maintaining this or not. If you are not maintaining this, you will be losing. Each concept is taken for 25% of weightage. Total 100% of weightage. Okay. So this is for today. Anything to discuss from your side in writing, regarding writing that we had? Technically, into every point, how to write paragraph, thesis statement, how to write an essay, vocabulary, transitional words, everything will be given to you step by step. And even I will be giving you books also to read the essays, band 9 essays, band 8 essays. Okay? Come on. Any doubts? I'm open for doubts. 5 minutes more. You may ask.
Ma'am,
Manasa and my. Okay, Sanjana, fine, no problem.
hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Tell me.
Very good handwriting should be maintained, ma'am.
No, not very beautiful handwriting. Proper legible handwriting. If I read it, it should not be like a doctor's prescription. Best example.
Okay. It should be understandable.
Clearly understandable.
Okay.
You can start with writing task 2 first. Then what happens is again, you will end up for the whole 1 hour in writing task 2. Consider that you write your write. Actually, 20 minutes are for writing task 1. Spend 10 minutes, 3 paragraphs to 4 paragraphs, 15 minutes maximum. 5 minutes you add up to this. If you are opening your second one first, you will not know your time. Don't do that. You'll have your clock or watch over there in the center, then you have to see that, and time management is very important. Actually, in our ICSE board and all, we ask the students to have a watch when they're writing the English essay. Any doubts still?
Ma'am, can we carry a watch with us?
I hope it is acceptable. But I was told by my students who went to write the exam, they will maintain a chill atmosphere in the exam hall, it seems. To test
Sorry,
your
ma'am, I
levels
did
of
not.
pain. Chill atmosphere means cool atmosphere, too much of cool atmosphere.
Okay.
Always carry, even though it is not summer, but in rest of the seasons also, they will have some distractors over there, even for TOEFL exam as well as IELTS exam. So carry all the sweaters, whatever, proper food should be taken,
No, sorry,
everything.
ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. What I meant to ask was, can we carry a wristwatch with us for time?
It's what I'm telling you. They may accept or see IELTS they accept. If they don't
Okay,
accept, also in the exam center, definitely according to the norms, there should be a time. There should be
okay,
a
ma'am.
clock. Okay.
Okay.
So have it with you, no problem. If they say no, then you give it to the person who accompanied you. That's it. It depends
Okay.
upon the previous test day also. When you
Okay, ma'am.
carry a watch, don't carry a digital watch. They will not accept.
Did you? Okay.
Normal analog watch should be taken.
Okay, ma'am. Thank
Normal
you.
watch. Okay.
Ma'am,
Ma.
will you give a band score for us, ma'am, if we share an writing task for you?
Yeah, I will. I will.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Ma'am, can I start with the writing task 2 first?
No, ma'am. Go with writing task 1 only. If you start writing task 2, you'll take the whole 1 hour time. Okay. Finish off. Finish off. You target your writing task 1, even though 20 minutes, finish it off in 15 minutes. 10, 15. Max 10, 15.
Okay,
Once you
fine.
start writing task 2, you will not know time at all.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, where do we have computer-based test centers in Andhra Pradesh?
Andhra Pradesh, there is no, I guess it is there in Hyderabad.
Computer-based test center.
No,
Vijayawada also, ma'am.
no.
not there,
Hey,
ma'am.
don't go for computer-based test.
Why, ma'am?
I rather go with this because once you have no time, 10 minutes time shifting answers from question paper to answer sheet, these all will not be there in computer test.
Okay, ma'am.
Some advantages will not be there. That slide, those slides also I'll show you in the last classes, okay? Then you
Okay.
will understand. I would rather not accept computer test because this has its own advantages. Practice handwriting.
Ma'am, computer-based test, who will examine, ma'am?
It will directly go into the cloud.
Okay. And
Of
paper-based test?
it will be posted courier to means through airmail to Cambridge University.
Okay.
It reaches there within a couple of days. That's why it takes 13 working days to give you the result. Somebody has started asking a question. Okay, then we'll stop for today. The main concept is completed, and tomorrow, today because of technical problem, I was delayed for 5 minutes. But tomorrow on sharp 7 we start, and we have lots to learn from tomorrow onwards. Okay, get ready with pens, books, and everything, and maybe we may touch a listening exercise tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, one reading also. We should not lose the practice. Thank you.